Okay, good morning, folks. Continuing with our mimer, getting ready for Purim. The Kol Daidi Daifik, the voice of my beloved is knocking. It's coming from the depths of the neshama, and it desires to see God as a chaisi.
Try it. I hate this round cup.
Hey, so don't give me so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't give me so much.
Baruch atah Adonai, v'che'elam shafi v'barei.
L'chaim.
Chaim v'chaim bracha. David's coffee. Thank you. So wants to also connect to God as a chaysi, my sister. Rayasi, my friend, Yainasi, my dove, my tamasi, my complete pure one. So we're explaining now a chaysi. We explained it as a natural love, as there is between siblings, a natural love, comfortable love, right? They may not be all siblings have that, but this is the idea of sibling love. Right? There can be things that interfere in that, obviously. But what a sibling love should be. It's a natural, comfortable one, that's there. Further, and this is where we're going now to explain, is that Avram Avinu, Abraham, our forefather, so he came to the world to bring a notion. I guess you could say that this was the brotherhood. We'll see where this is going. To create brotherhood. How? By having everybody call out in the name of God. To be connected to God. Right? As we know, we had a tent. It was open all four sides in order the wayfarers should come and he would feed them, take care of them, be there for them, and in order to inspire them, introduce them to the oneness of God. Not that they should call out God of the world, but God world. But the God is the world is God. Right? Not that God is limited to that.
Try to find the place where I don't find the staircase. I'll show you.
Right? So that God is, so we begin to explain that yesterday. I said everything is created by the word of God, and the word of God would be removed, and there would be no thing. Right? It would go back to its original nothingness. So God is constantly renewing creation, something from nothing, with his word. Then we go deeper. It's not only through the word of God and the spirit of his breath, if you will, right? All metaphor, that God creates the world. But kol asher chavez Hashem asa, everything that Hashem desires, he creates. What does that mean? That the true reality of creation is from his desire, his will. What does that mean? So we will understand by a metaphor in us, right? Then we'll understand the metaphor from us in our will. Then we will understand how God interplays within creation, creates the world, and how it comes from the desire, the will of God. So we see that the will of a person is different kind of power than the rest of the powers of the soul. That the rest of the powers of the soul are of course, they're powers of the soul, but they are something outside of it in a sense. Therefore, their effect are on a reality outside of the person. Let's take an example. We'll get to know ourselves better. Thank you, everybody, for your blessings. I hope I'm getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Not getting worse.
It sounds like getting better.
Yeah. Hi.
Gave you my cooling blessing yesterday.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah.
So, when a person is engaged with intelligence, and an idea just, an idea comes to you, right? Even after you stop being engaged in that intelligence, it still remains that intelligence that you were engaged in. It still remains, right? In other words, the point being that the intelligence is a reality unto its own, not it's independent of your soul, of your being. Right? So you're engaged now in this learning, and you get an idea. The fact that you got the idea, that idea is a thing that's a reality, or is something independent of you, right? Likewise, when it comes to feelings in the heart, love, the opposite of love, that when you affected, something good to another person because out of love, you did something nice, motivated by love, right? Even when the feeling of love isn't there anymore, the good that you did remains a reality. It's a thing, right? Now it's independent of your feeling. The feeling brought to your action that now remains a thing that's independent of the feeling that you have, right? Hold on, and you'll see where we're going with this. Same thing that comes with intelligence, right? Oh, you figured out some kind of, challenge of an idea and you got it, and now you're not engaged in it anymore. Well, what you got, did it disappear? Did it disappear? No, it's still there, right? That's not the case though with will, and that's, we're comparing that, right? Those powers of the soul, which the two powers of the soul is 3 parts of intelligence and the 7 parts of emotions, right? The 10 powers of the soul. So their engagement creates a reality outside of them, right? The emotion of love creates the act of kindness you did to someone, right? That's not the case of will, because it's not something outside of you, out of the nephesh, of the soul.
Okay.
It's only your movement of the soul towards something. I want, right? You wanting something, you desiring something doesn't create any reality, right? Doesn't create anything outside of you. It's just you wanting. Therefore, the desire itself, and we're talking about the desire itself, right? We're not talking about the action that you take based on the desire. That's action you took based on a desire. But desire itself is not able to affect anything outside out of the will, the desire that you have. In and of itself, it can't. All you have in the time that you want, that you have a desire, is your being, your reality. I want, I want, I want. Right? That's just me. Right? When the will goes away, right? The whole thing, the whole reality of it evaporates. It's gone. Right? I don't want it anymore. Right? It's like kids. Wanted that toy, and he wants that toy. Wants it strongly. So much so the kid cries. And you're, kind of take their attention away from it. And they're playing with something else. Oh, I don't want it anymore. So it's completely, and the only reality was me wanting in Ratzin, right? Now, of course, from will you could come and talk about it and take action about it. But we're not talking that's action already. That's not the will itself. As opposed to the intelligence, as we gave an example, right? When you got an idea, well, the idea is an idea outside of you. It's a reality, it's a thing, it's a mitzias, independent of you. When you grasp something, that just to show that your intelligence and your emotions is not the real deepest part of you, because it's something that affects outside of you. But your will is, because your will is only but you. Is that clear? Can I get some indication that you got it? Uh, no, we're just talking in you. We're talking now in you. I got, okay. Liba, Diane, and Andrea got thumbs up. Davida, Michael. All right. Everybody else online? Can we get some thumbs up over here that you got it? All right. So when the nephesh, the soul of the person, right, that has this will, right, you remove yourself from that will, it's gone. It evaporates. Okay, that was all a metaphor for us to understand. But by the way, that was good for us to understand, just, for ourselves to appreciate our makeup, right? But we're using that as a metaphor. Okay, that was all a metaphor. We can, I think we need to. But by the way, that was good for us to understand. There we go. Got an echo. Okay. So accordingly, then we can understand that everything that God desires, He did. Oh, let me get this. Make sure I got this clear. No. This is all new today.
Okay.
The whole thing was new. We started with this and now we explained it. Yes, you're right.
I was trying to talk to little previously.
Yeah, but desire, that's where we are, right? So all that God desired, He did. The doing down here is from the desire and the will above. Let me see if I can say these words properly. Ooh. Since in God's desire, everything is made, in our doing, right, down here, since is an expression, right? The doing down here is an expression of the divine will, meaning it's in a manner that there is no, there's, it expresses that there is no reality besides God more than the world is created through His wisdom. Because wisdom, we said, creates a thing called the wisdom, right? When I get something. So if we say God created the world with His wisdom, oh, that wisdom is a thing, right? Wow, this is very powerful. It's a thing. So I was created by God, by His wisdom. So I'm a thing. Just like when I get a wisdom, when I understand, like I just got this now, like it just, hit me. And that does because I thank you folks for being here, because that's what inspires me to get it. Because when I learn it on my own, I don't get it as well as when I teach it. So thank you. So I get it. What I just got is an independent idea that of me now. It has its own reality. So God creating the world through wisdom. Oh, well, that wisdom has an independence of God. But when we say no, it was created from His will. Well, just as the will has no independence of the of the individual, because there's nothing outside the will, right? Because once you don't want, the will doesn't exist. So as opposed to, it doesn't create a reality of anything except my will is the only reality. So likewise, by God, when he creates because he so desires and wills, so that which he creates is without being, is not a being, is not separate from him in any manner, but totally bound up with him. Wow. Okay. So just remember, we're 5 lines down from the page to continue this idea. Wow, wow, wow. Is that beautiful and powerful? I don't know if I've had a teachings before that explained it in this way. Very fascinating.
Can you interchange creating with willing? God created, God willed?
Yeah, that's the point over here.
That's it.
Yeah, but usually, again, remember, usually what we think about God, first of all, we spoke about his word. Well, a word for sure, there's more of an idea of separateness, right? But even wisdom here is also, there's a separateness because your wisdom creates a thing called that wisdom. But your will doesn't create anything. All it is your will. That's all it is, right? I mean, a lot of side things that we can speak about that are not about the point over here, right? The point over here is that God created the world with his will, right? Meaning that which is his will, everything is an expression of his will, meaning it's not a thing outside, but being an expression of his will. Psh, right? Not wisdom, so therefore it's a thing, right? But it's an expression of his will, totally bound up then with him. Wow. We'll see.
Lots of questions. I'll keep.
Okay, we'll see you shortly.